Video was a great idea at the beginning and very informative, gave a very accessible summary of the core issues of surrounding food security. Also, even though it introduced a global perspective, it was very relevant to the region. The talk was great, the moderation was lovely, and I've not heard of this. I've been here for about 5 months. I've not heard of the Institute before, and I can't wait to get my teeth into the publication. It looks brilliant. It's very well written and a nice paper. The speakers were all wonderful, and I feel like they were quite balanced in terms of the issues that they were discussing.
I think one of the things that was also already highlighted is that the withholding of aid affects those who are most vulnerable already. When things like food are withheld, one of the examples is Yarmouk camp in Syria, then the situation becomes very dire very fast. We are witnessing a politicization of aid in Syria. So the two main sort of things that we are seeing is, first of all, the UN-backed aid system, and second, the regime's role in distributing aid. One of the main problems in these besieged areas is that there's two main sort of things. The first one is a psychological effect that it has on the people when they are besieged in an area. So, for example, men used to be the ones who were the providers of the family. So they would be the ones working, going out and bringing home the salary and essentially feeding the family. Now a lot of women are forced to also go out and work, and that causes a lot of problems inside the families because the men are not satisfied, they're unhappy with the situation that the women are working, they're unhappy with the fact that they're not being able to provide for their families, which causes a lot of problems psychologically in the families.
وعند المجاعة لا تستطيع أكل لا الشرنقة ولا الدودة ولا التوت، وهذه مشكلة أساسية. وعند فهم هذا الشيء نتعلم من التاريخ أنه هناك أكثر من عامل يسبب المجاعة، ولكن العوامل الأساسية التي تسببها وتسبب الاختناق وتسبب فقدان الأمن الغذائي هي من صنع الإنسان.
I definitely enjoyed seeing the different perspectives from very different backgrounds. It definitely made me self-conscious about my own actions and my own decisions about the way I treat food and how I should think of others who are in need of it.
When I think of tradition, tradition is expressed into different ways into this wonderful architecture. This is like a museum. This is not something we unfortunately all live in. It's not a costume. We are all dressed alike all over. We don't have our traditional costumes anymore. It's not music. It's not dance. These may be expressions that may be difficult for the other. It's the easiest way, and the expression of traditions that goes the most along place and time is food.
تعلمت كيف الفيوجن عم بتصير، كيف انه الفرنساويه رغم المانديت ما قدروا ياثروا علينا الا انه جابوا لنا الكرواسون، حطوا زعتر من عندنا فيه، يعني صار زعتر كرواسون على زعتر. هولي شغلات كتير هيك طريفه واحد بيقدر يخبرها للاجيال، كوننا نحن عم نتعامل مع اجيال صاعده ومع التلاميذ.
I definitely thought or saw that it provided a better understanding of where hunger comes from, and here during the debate it hit on several aspects, including how to resolve several issues concerning that. I hope that somehow can be applied in all places that do struggle, specifically here, and hoping to encourage with this getting to people to know about it, maybe help encourage us to get into the field of even agriculture and food distribution or food production, and on a natural, local way. Maybe that would, in every country, I think that would benefit a lot.
They're not respecting the fact that food aid and access to food is actually required by international humanitarian law for everyone in a conflict. It's not based on which side you're standing on in the conflict. The problem is that through politicizing aid and through politicizing the access to it, we're facing a situation where some areas in Syria have been besieged for 4 years without proper access to food, one of them being Eastern Ghouta. We are witnessing how food aid is being used against the civilian population.
topic. Food is inviting and essential to everybody, and we were able to discuss a really diverse array of topics from war to security to safety of food, culture, identity, heritage, different countries, because at the end of the day we are individuals, we are communities, we are countries, and everybody eats, and everybody has a history with food. So as individuals we eat, as communities we create an identity that revolves around food and a number of other things, and also when it comes to security and war and peace, things that we have a struggle with in the region, that's very much impacted by food and the lack thereof.